How to make a server in Minecraft 1.20. We're going to be going over everything you need to know about getting a server up and running in this video. First things first though, I do want to mention that the server we're making here is not a 24-hour server. It's only up and running when your computer is up and running. And as that implies, it's running on your own computer hardware, meaning you need a decent higher-end computer in order to start a Minecraft server. It's also hosted on your own internet connection, meaning you need a decent internet connection as well. I mean, a pretty stable internet connection, as well as a high upload-download speed. On top of all of that, this is only meant for your friends, your family, people that you can trust. The reason being that this being hosted on your own internet connection means that anyone who gets this IP address can DDoS you, they can hit you offline, slow your internet down, that sort of thing, and they can find out where you live down to your latitude and longitude coordinates. That's why it's important you only give the IP address out of this server to people who you would invite over to your house. Now, with that being said, what if you do want a server that can be up all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? What if you do want a server where you don't have to worry about the hardware? It's on amazing, high-quality hardware. What if you want a server where you have live chat support that you can reach out to if you have issues? And what if you want a server where you don't have to worry about DDoS, worry about anything like that? All you want to do is just get the IP address and join the server, maybe add some mods, maybe add some plugins, but it's simple and easy to use. Well, that's where our company, SimpleGameHosting, comes in. Go to the first link in the description down below, the breakdown.xyz/simple to start your very own Minecraft server. At SimpleGameHosting, you get a server that's up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, can be made public or private, the choice is up to you, and can have mods, plugins, mod packs, all of that added extremely easily. And that is on top of high quality hardware that is meant to make your server as lag free as possible. So go check out SimpleGameHosting at the first link in the description down below, the breakdown.xyz/simple to get a server that's up 24 hours a day, has amazing hardware, and means you don't really have to worry about running it. You just add mods, plugins, anything you want, and then play. Nevertheless, what if you do want to make a server on your own computer that you can only give out to your friends and family? Let's say you have a good enough internet connection and computer hardware to do it. Well, let's jump into it. First things first, you want to go to the second link in the description down below, and that will take you here. This is our in-depth text tutorial on how to make a Minecraft server. Once you're here, just scroll down and click on the green download Minecraft button. That will take you to Minecraft's official server download page, where all you want to do is click on this Minecraft_server.jar here. When you click on that, a server.jar file will download. Now, you may need to keep this in the bottom left of Google Chrome or save it on Firefox. It's 100% safe. This is from Minecraft.net, Minecraft's official website. It's just sometimes Windows and Chrome are a little weird about files. Nevertheless, we can now go ahead and minimize our browser, and what we want to do is move that file we downloaded to our desktop. Why do we do that? Well, we click the little Windows icons in the top left of my screen, bottom left of your screen, or bottom center of your screen on Windows 11. And yes, this tutorial is fully working on Windows 11. Type in downloads. You have this downloads file folder here. Open this up, and in here you will have the server.jar. Drag this to your desktop. Now, once this is on your desktop, what we want to do is create a new folder. So right-click, create a new folder. We will call this Minecraft 1.20 server. You can name it anything you want, doesn't matter. And then go ahead and move the server.jar into this folder. Open up the folder, and now all we need to do to start your server is double-click this. For me, this will work. It'll generate some files, specifically an EULA.txt file, but for you, that might not have worked. And if it didn't, that's okay. We need to do two things. One, you need to download Java 17. Java 17 is required to start a Minecraft 1.20 server, and we have an in-depth guide in the description that's super up to date. We always keep it up to date with everything you need to know about getting Java specifically for Minecraft. It covers everything that you need to know. Now, once you get Java, you may also need to run the jar fix, and that's going to link that server.jar and all the other jar files on your computer back to Java, making them work happily together, right? So step one, get Java 17. Step two, get the jar fix. And then finally, we can go ahead, minimize our browser, and double-click that server.jar. Now, the first time you double-click it, it's just going to generate some folders here. As you can see, libraries, logs, versions. Most importantly, it's going to generate the EULA.txt file. Go ahead and open that file up. And then, assuming you agree to the Minecraft EULA here, what we want to do is change EULA equals false to EULA equals true. TRUE, exactly like that. Click File, Save, and then we can go ahead and double-click on the server.jar, and the server will now start. Now, sure, the server is up at this point. You can join your server, and we're actually going to do that, but your friends cannot join your server. By the way, if you do get this Windows Defender pop-up, make sure, it's super important, that public and private networks are selected, and you click Allow Access. If you don't do that and later you have issues joining your server, there's a link in the description down below on how to allow Minecraft through your Windows Defender firewall that is required for your friends and sometimes even you to join the server. Nevertheless, as you can see, the server is now done. It is started. Let's go ahead and join it. All right, so here we are in Minecraft. and it is important again to stress that only you can join your server this way. We're just testing to make sure everything's working and your server is started properly. So if we go into multiplayer here, hey, look at that, Simple Game Hosting. You should go check it out. No port forwarding on an SGH server. Nevertheless, get direct connection or add this server. It doesn't really matter. For the server address though, you want to enter in local host because this is hosted on your local computer. We're going to name this local server and then go ahead and click done. Now, as you can see, there it is. It's connected. And if we double click on it, we'll see ourselves join it on the left-hand side. Boom, we are now in game. This is a good time to op yourself. Come over here into the console area. Type down here on this text box at the bottom, OP, and then your username. That's going to op you in game and allow you to do things like /game mode creative. Also, pretty good 1.20 seed right next to a cherry biome. But nevertheless, how do we then allow our friends to join? Well, this is where port forwarding comes in that I just talked about. So let's go ahead and close out of Minecraft. We're also going to stop our server, which you should always do using stop in the console. Type stop and then hit enter, and that'll properly save everything, close everything down, and means your world won't have any weird data loss or anything like that from stopping the server. From there, what we need to do is go ahead and open up our start menu, and then in the start menu, what we want to do is type in CMD. Open up command prompt here, and then in command prompt, what we want to do is type ipconfig, ipconfig, exactly like that, and hit enter. Now, I usually will type this in Notepad just so you can see what I'm doing. You could write this down on a Post-it note, whatever is more convenient for you. But we need to make a note of some of the numbers in this CMD ipconfig prompt we did. The first one's right up here at the top, IPv4 address. So for me, the IPv4 is 192.168.1.2. Yours is probably different. That's okay. It should be different. That's why we're getting these numbers versus the command prompt. Otherwise, I would just give you the correct numbers. From there, we want to go ahead and get our default gateway as well. So default gateway. And with the default gateway, this is going to be on the bottom line usually. And for me, that's 192.168.1.1. Yours could be different, but it's also worth noting that you may have two. And if the first line next to default gateway is a bunch of numbers and letters, what you want in that case is the one that's under it. It shouldn't have anything over here on the left-hand side, but it should have a numbers under that big long string, and that's what you want. You want the one that's just numbers. It should be in this format, right? 192.168.1.1. The numbers may be different, but there should be 3 periods in there. So nevertheless, once you've got these numbers, you've gotten your default gateway and your IPv4, we need to go to our browser. Now you might be wondering, what are we going to be doing in the browser here? Well, we're going to be opening up a new tab. And then in this new tab, up here at the top where you would normally type SimpleGameHosting.com, YouTube.com, something like that, you want to go ahead and type in the default gateway. So for us, that's 192.168.1.1, right like so. For me, a login box just pops in from the top. For you, it might pop in from the center, might pop in from the bottom. It might literally be a pop-up in the regards. It might open a new window. But you're going to have some sort of login box. What do you enter into this login box? Well, of course, you enter in your router's username and password. But I'm guessing you don't know that. And luckily, we have an in-depth guide in the description that goes over exactly how to find your router's password and username. This goes through methods. Method 1, start there, all the way down to method 5, and they're basically ranked in most difficult, or least difficult, to most difficult. Method 1 being the easiest. Method 5, contacting your ISP being the hardest. No one wants to do this, and 99% of people are finished by method 4, if not even method 3. So I'm going to go ahead, enter in my login information, and I will see you once I've logged into the router. So when I log into my router, it looks like this. Yours probably is going to look completely different, and that's a-okay. But I'm going to walk you through where port forwarding could be in your router. We also have, though, in the description, this, an in-depth guide to port forwarding on any router. Now, obviously, it's not every router in the world in that video, but what it is all of the most popular routers. Linksys, Cisco, Netgear. It's all covered in this guide, and of course, it's in the description for you to go check out. I would recommend just watching that video and just kind of picking up on the terms, because while your router may not be specifically listed, a lot of routers use very similar software. Along the way, you'll pick up a lot of the different terms and potential locations of where port forwarding could be in your router. Now, for us in Netgear here, our Netgear Orbi, it's going to be at the top. It's going to be in advanced, and then it's going to be in advanced again, and then it's going to be in port forwarding / port triggering. Now for you, it may be an advanced, it may be an advanced, it may be in port forwarding / port triggering, it may be in apps and gaming, it might be in NAT forwarding, NAT forwarding, it might be in NAT gaming, NAT gaming. I've seen it be in the advanced, security, administration, and networking tabs on routers. Unfortunately, there's no standardized location for this. Like I said, for us, it's in advanced, and then it's in advanced again. But it could have also been in administration or security. It really just depends on the router that you have and the type of router. So click around. Just don't save any changes unless you're confident it's port forwarding. And if you do save changes and something messes up, it's super easy to reset a router. Just literally go to the router and usually push a button. But once you've found port forwarding / port triggering, and again, it could be NAT forwarding, NAT gaming, apps and gaming. There's tons of different names, and I think I went through most of them there. Sometimes you'll have weird combinations of them, like NAT or NAT apps and gaming, like NAT apps and gaming. It's so weird. But nevertheless, once you've found port forwarding, port triggering, what we want to do is make sure port forwarding is selected, and then we want to add a new port forward. In some cases, you'll just have a big empty list, like a bunch of just empty boxes, and just one of those lines. That's what you want to use. Other times you have to add a new service, add a new port forward, create a port forward. For the service name near port forward, the ID, the just name, identifier, this is basically just so you know what this is. And we're going to name this Minecraft Java server. You can literally name it anything. Just something that you'll know what this port forward is for later. For protocol, we want to do TCP/UDP, UDP/TCP, or both. And if for whatever reason you cannot select both of these, do this twice. Do the entire port forward process twice. Just do it once for TCP, once for UDP, leaving everything else the same. You should be able to select both here, though. It literally may be the word both. Once you've done that, it's time to enter in our port. And for anything involving the word port, external port, internal port, first port, second port, beginning port, ending port, it doesn't matter what it says. If it has the word port in it, enter in 25565. So we have our external port there. That's going to be 25565. For our internal port, it's going to be 25565. Lastly, we have our internal IP address. For you, this could be what's defined as your local IPv4. It could also just be a device drop-down list. It could have all the devices that are connected to your network all dropped down so you can select them. Now for us, we got this earlier. This is going to be our IPv4 address. So in my case, 192.168.1.2. Boom. There you go. That's what it is for me. For you, it's going to be different, and it's going to be whatever your IPv4 address is, or it's going to be the device that you're creating the server on, selected from the list. Finally, we can go ahead and click apply here. Now, in 99% of the cases, this will be done. You'll be done with your port forward. Sometimes they'll ask for an external IP address. But guess what? That's okay, because every single person watching this video needs their external IP address, which can be found on our website. We have this, which just takes your IP address and gives it back to you. But it also gives you back some other information, which is your country, your region, your city, and down to your latitude and longitude coordinates. Why is this important? Well, guess what? This is what people can get from your IP address. And that's why it's important to only give this out to people you trust. And that's why SimpleGameHosting is here, because guess what? There, you don't have to worry about it. The IP address there, the server there can be public or private. That's your choice. Unlike this, where if you give it out to everybody, all this information is automatically public. Nevertheless, we want to go ahead and just click to copy the IP address here. And you can only see the last 2 digits. That's just for our own privacy. You'll see those 2 digits again in Minecraft, but that's just showing that those are the same whenever you move back and forth. If you did need an outside or external IP address for your port forward, paste that in now, save the port forward, all of that. But now we can go ahead and start our server. To start your server, you're just going to double click on that server.jar. If you want to add more RAM to your server, there is a link in the description down below to an in-depth guide on how to do that, how to add more RAM. It goes over everything you need to know. Right here it is. Covers everything on adding more RAM. We also have that guide on Windows Defender Firewall. Here it is. And then we also have this guide on how to fix a broken Minecraft server. It goes through everything you need to know on fixing broken Minecraft servers. So there's 21 minutes of me fixing broken Minecraft servers. Nevertheless, let's go ahead, minimize, and now our server is started. We'll open up Minecraft and join this server. So here we are in Minecraft with our server running. If we go to multiplayer, we'll see that the local server is still working, but let's go ahead and add a new server. This time we're going to name it our public IP, and then in the server address here, we're going to paste in that public IP address. Now, all you can see is the last 2 digits again, but that's by design, again, so we can have privacy on our end. You don't want to give this out to everybody and anybody, including everyone who's watching this video. Go ahead and click done, and now we'll see this one's also online. It also mirrors what's happening up here on the top. If we double click on this, it will join on in. We can see on the left hand side. Now, some of this is blacked out or whited out as well. You won't be able to see this because the IP address shows up over here as well. And that's just proving we did join via the public IP. But nevertheless, if you have any questions, let us know in the comment section down below. And Your server is now up and running. If you have any questions about starting your server, let us know in the comment section down below. We are more than happy to help you out, and be sure to check out SimpleGameHosting at the first link in the description down below, the breakdown.xyz/simple, to get your server up and running in under 5 minutes. All this tutorial, port forwarding, all of that, you don't have to do any of it at SimpleGameHosting. Our goal is to make the process of starting a server as simple as possible, so go check that out. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.